Hello, it is me, WheatAnime or Anime Wheat. Uh, quick little intro here. But I got a question first. Now for me, what ifs? I've been saying this for the past, I don't know how many videos. I need an answer. Because after, what if Deku is Sanji's reincarnation? This what if? I might go over to Naofumi what ifs. Okay? I might just move around the days. Like, Deku might be on Mondays still and Naofumi will be on Wednesdays, and Naruto will be on Fridays. I'll probably go around that order. If you all just don't want to see them, then just say something, please. Just say something in the comments, okay? I need some type of clarity from you all, okay? It just can't be me saying like, "Hey, you all want this?" and nobody answers. I know I'm sounding a little bit angry, but I'm not. I don't really care, okay? But please give me like say something like hi at least to know to let me know you're actually there and not just like off screening me. I'd appreciate that. But anyways, hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just start. Why are you on like part 5 of this and not like part 1? That's very confusing to me, and you know it's very much not. See, I've been rewatching a lot of animes I used to like watch a lot, and I just like pick random episodes. How do you all feel about Kaiju number 8? New episode, new new episode every Saturday on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll. Oh, I absolutely love it. I think that's gonna be my next opinions episode, honestly, on the whole entire anime. I think that's will be what it is, to be honest with you. But when I record it, I couldn't tell you at all. But anyways, I'll get on to I'll get on to the disclaimers and then we'll get on to the story. Okay? So, disclaimers like usual. Uh I stutter a lot. Well, I used to, but now I got comfortable doing this, so not really much anymore. Uh I kind of do impressions, not really. Uh what else do I do? I go quiet sometimes. Don't I don't know why, but I do. Uh, yeah, that's really it, honestly. Um, yeah, that's really it on me and my disclaimers. I'm sorry if you hear me do, like opening something up because I am. Uh, now y'all probably can't even hear me. Okay, I was opening something. Oh yeah. Uh, let's start this. So, where we left off is when Midoriya or Izuku, when Izuku and Zeph was talking to each other. And they talked for a little bit. Zeph told Midoriya things. And they just have a conversation about things. And their little break would be up, right? And and oh yeah, I forgot to put in the disclaimers. I repeat stuff quite frequently. Uh I also don't have scripts for this. So I don't use scripts. Uh so there are like a few day break for the students of 1A would go by. They would get back into class and they would just start class and Isol would come in and say, uh oh yeah, forgot to tell y'all. You all have recommendations. Is that internships? He would say, "Oh yeah, you all have internships coming up. So you got recommendations for your internships during the sports festival. That's why all the heroes were there. If you didn't figure that out uh, by any other means, so you all look for them. Well, yeah, you all look through your recommendations, and when you're done with that, wake me up." So they all would look through 'em, but yet Midoriya wouldn't really care about any of them, right? Because he knew Zeph had something in store with him because she told him about the internships. So he never really bothered with it, but he did look through, seeing some heroes he recognized, but yet he never really picked any. So once everyone was done looking through and picking theirs, Aizawa would say, "Okay, you all can go and head to lunch, okay? But Izuku, I need to talk to you for a minute." So everyone else in class would go, and some of them would say, "Ooh, Izuku's in trouble," like Kaminari and Sarah would, right? And he would walk up to Aizawa and he would say, Um, what did you need to talk to me about?" And Aizawa would say, "Oh, Zeph texted me, uh, before I passed out all the papers about you going with somebody else that wasn't there. So, I don't know. I don't care. Thought I'd tell you. Oh yeah, and by the way, uh, how you feeling? Especially after that beat down by your siblings." And Midori would not look thrilled about that question. And Midori, well, Izuku would say, "Well, okay, at least it's not all bad. Uh, but the one thing is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm fine." And Aizawa would say, "Well, okay, I know you're not a very open person, so go ahead and go." And Midori would leave and head to lunch, and talk to his classmates, right? And we'll do a time skip to when the internships start, right? And Izuku would get picked up by Zeph herself, which I explained her whole entire, not entire story. Uh, I explained who she is. And if you can recognize the name Zeph, it's from One Piece. It's the man who taught Sanji the black leg style. Okay. But I converted that into women, into a woman. So, yeah. So, Midori would get picked up by Zeph, and those two would drive to the person Zeph was talking about with Izuku. See, they would be near Hosu. Not really. They would be. It would take him about, uh, I'd say, about 4 hour, about 4.5 hours to get there. Right. But when they got there, the house would be a relatively small house, but it would be like within a wall per minute, like a wall, right? It would be between like a wall. What is that called? Perimeter. And it's not like fence. It's like an actual like wall. Like real fancy. Well, actually, the best way to explain it, it's more of a like to a compound, really, right? More of a like to a compound with walls around it and a couple buildings. Like I'd say the perimeter would be around uh well, I live in America. I know American uh tracks of time. Well, whatever. I don't know what it's called. But you all know. So it would be around a it'd be around a 5 mile radius all around. Okay. It's huge, but yet that's only the walls. And there's like buildings within those walls, like huge buildings that look to be like training uh storage units, like giant like buildings. But yet a lot of things are different between the like the like UA's training. That's that big, right? Like two of those, couple smaller buildings, like a tower of sorts, right? Like a tower, like a watchtower, right? And yeah, and Zeph and Izuku would get let through the gates, right? And then they'd keep on going down a wooded, like tree-lined road, right? And they'd keep on going about like 5, 10 minutes down. That would take him down the road, right? Like I'm telling you, this place is huge. I know like 5 miles doesn't sound big, but yet it's huge. Uh, yeah. So they'd make it down there. They'd park their car. They'd both get out, and they'd begin to walk towards the like cottage of a house. Like compared to these other buildings around it, this house is small. It's like a cottage, like a a couple person bedroom cottage. Like it's small. It is small. So Zeph would knock on the door, right? And then someone would answer that door. That person being a casually dressed woman with black hair. She would be around in her 60s, I think, by the timeline. Uh, maybe even older. I'd say around her late 60s, early 70s. So in her prime, basically, if we look into any other anime's world, especially One Piece, oh my gosh, bro, Whitebeard was out here just kicking butt at Marineford, and he was around like 72. And look at Rayleigh. Oh, I know this is a My Hero what if, but yet the character is from One Piece. So yeah. So like Rayleigh's like 78, I think. I think like 78 or 7. Yeah, I think 78 after the time skip. And Garp Garp is Garp is I think like 74, 76 after the time skip. And bro, have you all been watching the anime? Have you all been watching the anime? Mm, Galaxy Punch. I think that's the name of it. I'm like, bro. Right. Um, did I say black hair? I meant to say like gray hair. So, Zeph would say, "Oh, how you been, Shamora?" Anybody recognize that name? If you do, like the comments, like the video, And Midoriya would say, uh, did you just say Shimura? As in Nana Shimura. Nana? I don't know how to say her name. Nana Shimura? Like the the hero? Like the former wielder of One for All? I feel like he would know about One for All. I feel like he would. Because bro's smart. He probably wouldn't know the One for All. No, scratch that. He doesn't know about One for All yet. Um, and Zeph would say, "Oh yeah, this is her." And Midoriya would say, "Didn't she die?" And Nana Shimura would say, "Um, technically, I died in the eyes of the people, but in reality, I didn't really die. No, that piece of shit, all for one ain't killing me. Nah." And by the way, she's not. She is injured by means of no extent. What is happening? Um, see, it doesn't matter. But what I mean, and she would say, "Well, I died in the eyes of the people, but yet not. I didn't really die." So she would be missing an entire leg, like cut off, like about like barely even any like thigh, like uh, like uh, take your middle finger and you're like your thumb, put your thumb like at like where you're like the top of your leg, right? And then take your middle finger and it would be right about there. Okay? Like on your leg, press it down to your leg if you can. Maybe you got like a broken hand or something. I don't know. But like that about like a length of that, like that length on her right leg. And her left arm is gone from the like above the elbow down, gone. And like she has scars on her face, like huge ones, like from like say her head got nearly crushed under a building, like bad, like that type of stuff. And like Nana Shimura is like just floating there, like yeah, she doesn't really need to walk anymore because she doesn't have a leg. Like what? What? Uh, but yeah. So yeah, that would happen. Uh, yeah, another time's good, really. Uh, see, they would train. Well, Midori would. He would train for a day or two, right? Probably like two. And then Nana Shimura would bring him in, like talk to him, and say, "I'm gonna send you out on patrol with a friend of mine," which being Gran Torino. Uh, so Gran Torino would pick him up, take him to Hosu City, and yeah, this is when we start getting into this combat. I sound like a D&D person right now. But yeah. Uh, so yeah. So they would get there. No moves everywhere. I'm telling you, like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. Like that type of no moves around, like in canon, because the city was overrun by low level to like medium, mid level. I don't know. I forget. But yeah. So Grand Hero and Midoriya would be there, and Midoriya would say, "Uh, I'm guessing this was not expected, huh?" And Grand Tuna would say, "No, duh, idiot." And then they would both go in there, just fighting. Uh, well, Grand Tuna would be taking out low levels left and right, kicking medium levels. Medora would be having a little bit of harder time. What the first thing he does when he gets in there is go out there mid level, just kicking them, sending them back, just like the you see on screen, right? And then he would do the same thing to a lower level, like the low tier, right? And then he would find another medium level doing this to him, that big old combo of his, and then shaboosh, right? And then he would get attack stuff coordinates near his area, and he would go to them because it was from Ida. And then he would also get the same coordinates from Todoroki. So he definitely went faster than he was. He made it there, and he would see the hero killer Stain standing over Tenya Ida, and he would see Todoroki pinned to a wall with knives through his hands and through his hero costume. And he would see Stain standing over uh what's his face? Ida, about to just put a sword through his face. And then, being the main character he is, Deku would fly in. Well, Izuku would fly in like this. Pretend Doflamingo is staying at the moment, and you don't see fire. And they would like Midori would jump in, trying to kick the sword away. I mean, the sword does get moved just to block uh him, and then they would jump back. Uh, Midori would kick like take his left leg and like slide Ida backwards towards Todoroki, right? And then Stain would say, "Oh, who are you? Another wannabe like these other three? They weren't a challenge. And well, I don't think you are either." And then Stain would just charge at Midoriya, and Midoriya would charge him, right? Stain would be the first one to attack with his katana. He would swing it at Midoriya's torso, trying to cut into him. Midoriya would bring up his foot, well, his leg, block it with his left foot, right? And then he would stomp down with his left foot still with the sword, like to, like caught with his foot, bring it down to the ground and snap the blade in half. He would snap the sword in half. Is when it like he would stomp the sword down, staying not letting go of it. He would bring the sword down, snap it in half, and then staying with his left hand, he would reach around, grab in like his back pocket. There's a holster, not for a gun, for a knife. He would bring in a knife, and he would try to slash Midoriya again. But yet Midoriya would duck down, the knife swing, the slash would go right over his head, and then Midoriya would like take his left foot, slide off of it, then land. Well, a spin it. He would do like a spin kick, right? It would like with his left leg. He would catch Stain's left leg with like between his like knee, like he would catch it between his knee, right, and then bring his right leg over around, kicking Stain in the back of the head, and Stain would go down on the ground with Midoriya's other leg still holding on to Stain's left arm, right? And then Midoriya would bring down Stain on the ground, face first, and then bring his left knee down to land right on the back of like his back, right? But then Stain would do something. He would throw up his sword with his right hand. He would like try to like bring it around and stab Midoriya the best he can. But yet Midoriya would dodge, and then Stain would bring back down. He would bring his arm back down and throw up his sword, and then try to finagle his right hand into his pocket. And then he would bring out like a kunai of sorts, or like a throwing knife, and he would throw it to the back, it hitting a string, which would be connected to a dumpster from like on top of the roof, right? Which would bring that down, like dropping basically on top of him and Midoriya. But yet Midoriya would move. He would kick Stain out of the way, right? And they would both move out of the way, right? And then Stain would jump over the dumpster with the half of his sword, right? And he would try to bring it down onto Midoriya again, which Midoriya would just dodge out of the way this time. And then he would like kick. Well, he would try to kick uh Stain, but yet Stain would dodge out of the way by like a roll or something. And they then uh and then Stain would come up close again, and Midori would do a combo like this, which I am using again. And um he would send Stain flying backwards, launching into the dumpster, which that dumpster would go sliding back even more. And then Stain would get tired of it and just throw his as many throwing knives as he can. Like he's just throwing them left and right as hard and fast as he can, which Medora would have to cover up instead of just trying to dodge. He would have to cover up. Like he would hold up his like arms in front of him, right in front of his face, which it would the knives would just slice him up. But also, Stain would have to go get those knives to lick his blood. So I don't know, or maybe not. No, I don't think he would. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyways, uh, then Stain would charge in with another knife in hand. But then ice and flames would come by, flying by Izuku, hitting Stain, and then Stain would feel a highly powered kick hit him in the back, which would then send him flying frontwards into Midoriya, which Midoriya then would say mutton shot, which he would use mutton shot. No, no, I got it. Maybe I don't. You want no, and then Midoriya would he wouldn't he no fire. He would just kick Stain in the face, right? He'd kick him in the face and then bring his foot down with like a stomping motion, which would take Stain like head first into the ground, stunning him, knocking him out, basically. Right? And then, yeah, we all Endeavor shows up, talks to then they pick up Stain, which police would. But yeah, before that, s- s- uh, Midoriya isn't paying attention, and he's about to get got by a Nomu, and then a knife would fly through the air, slitting the throat of that Nomu, right? And then, bing, bada boom, it was Stain. He saved him, like in canon. I think that happened. Yeah, it did. I think it did. Sorry for going quiet. I was just thinking if that actually happened in canon or I've been making it up this entire time. And I was so confused because like I thought I watched that happen, but maybe it didn't happen. I don't know. I think it did. And then Stain would be sent to uh like jail, I guess jail. Yeah, he'd been sent to jail, right? And then yeah, uh, that'd be the end of this one. Well, not really. They would make it back. It would be called off because of the hero killer attack, right? And yeah, that'd be it. Uh, that's the end of that one, of this episode, of this part. I mean, so yeah, how do y'all like it? Uh, already asked a question, so I guess I can just end it. Like, comment, subscribe. Uh, post your opinions in the comments about my question, which I think I asked it. I asked it. I think I did. If not, I'm gonna say it again. Now, Fumi, what ifs? You want to see them? Yes or no in the comments. Uh, so yeah, it has been me, We Anime or Anime Wheat, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Don't lose that anime love. See you, boys.